Alright, so a lot of people have really shown interest in this window tint and asked us how can they replicate it for their own car, because not only is it a really cool blue.
If you look really carefully.
Yeah, look at this.
It's got a nice tribal design on the back.
That's the tattoo of the 2000s when everybody had it. I won't say that too loud. I got a brother-in-law with one of those. So we're going to take that off. Nobody liked it. It was going to come off anyway, and it's actually kind of funny that the customer actually asked and said, could we remove it because it's not allowed in his country? And we said, well, absolutely, we were going to take it off anyway. So I'm going to give it this guy, give it a nice gradual warm-up, and then use another trusty tool here. We'll see what it looks like. You ready? Makes a big difference. I would say it's really easy, but it's not. And it's not a lot of fun. Look at that. Pain. So I know you can steam this, and I could actually go over to our buddy Tran, but we don't have a tag for this car, and I don't want to drive this any more than I have to. And Tran is about 5 miles from us, so I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. It takes me to get back to my days working as a detailer. It seems like every used car came in, it was, yeah, go ahead and detail it, do the engine bay, dress the tires. Oh yeah, can you just take the window tint off? Yeah, that was a lot of fun. What do you think? Better color? Look at that, black. So yes, the battery is getting changed. The customer agreed, and we wanted to go with the OEM. I don't know who makes these batteries. Obviously Sony makes them for Honda. I've really had good luck with them over the years. I've been using them for a long time, and they're about the cost of everybody else's battery. Obviously the Optima is in there. It's a 2-year-old battery, so you know, this one's 818, so we know this one is brand new. All right, black battery. I even took the Honda logo off the front just so the part that faces you is black. All right, maiden voyage, George.
Amazing voyage.
Do you know what to do?
Get a bottle of champagne and break it over the hood.
That's it, close enough. You know, it sounds very much like the K-side, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It reminds me of it a lot. Seems like forever since we've driven this. Well, now it's turbocharged and everything has been replaced. It runs. Alright, so we're trying to get a little bit of road testing in before that weather comes. As you see, it's pretty grey. hear that? We're gonna get indoors. I was prepared that time. Already got my laptop in a bag. We're ready to tune. Good chance of rain, George.
I heard it's like a 60% chance today.
Yeah, it's weatherman said 50-50.
50-50?
Yeah. Yeah, it could rain. Instagram. Taking the air fuel, but we're on gate right now. It is making 326. It's on gate. According to the Honda peak, I'm seeing like 9.8, and I'm not running much time, and it's running on gas 93, but in the country it's going to, it might end up running 91 or 92. So I'm not running very much time in it at all, and I'm sitting at 11.8 air fuel. So we're good where we are right now. It's making good power, and the graph looks good. So you can see my boost line right here. So full boost about 9.5 pounds. So definitely making good power. And as you see right here, how quick the boost comes up. 7 pounds at 4,100. It's pretty quick. It's going on nice. Okay, so it's the next day. One awesome thing about having your own dyno is that if you don't finish the car or you run out of time, you can just leave the car where it is. It's still sitting on the dyno, which is awesome. For a long time I've been renting dynos, and it sucks because when you don't finish, it's like, okay, get the car off, come back tomorrow, pay another fee. And it's not just the fee, it's the inconvenience of taking the car, driving it across town, taking it back the next day. Not to mention the dynos I used to rent always had problems. I mean, for one, they were old dynos, but they were never taken care of. They were outside. The straps were always, wet and nasty, and the cables would shoot up. So it took a long time to get our own dyno. Obviously, it's, we started this in '96, and that was actually one of the first times I started using a dyno was in '96. Actually, for the people that heard of the shop back then, Secret Services, they started right about the same time we did. They changed names, and then they're no longer in business, but I still know one of the owners from Secret Services. But that was the first time I used a dyno back in '96, and it was a brand new dyno he was still kind of learning the dyno, and I mean, he taught me what to do. I mean, I had no clue. I knew what I needed to do, but I didn't know how to operate the dyno. And back then, there's no such thing as accurate widebands. So you used to look at the tailpipe, pull the plug, do a run, look at the dyno graph, scratch your head and go, I think it needs more fuel. I think it needs less fuel. And you kind of play around until you get it where it needs to be. So this is like it's about a year old now, the dyno, but made such the difference. So again, we were tuning on wastegate. I think it did 325, and again, I'm keeping conservative on the timing. We're not going for big power numbers. Again, it's for what the car is. It doesn't need a ton of power, and we're tuning for safety and longevity. So wastegate, I think the peak was like 9.7 or 9.8, and again, keep in mind it's a small turbo. It's a GTX 3071R. Total horsepower capable, I think, is like 525, 535. That's crank horsepower. That's max full power it's going to make. So 535 crank, that's about 480 at the tire. I've personally tuned that turbo and made a little over 500, but you're beyond its efficiency range. Just that it makes it doesn't mean it's safe. It's not safe for the engine or the turbo running at max, because all you're doing is producing a bunch of heat, making everything work harder. So we're still playing with the timing, just bumped it another degree. We're trying to do 3 different boost settings in there, 3. So that way you've just got 3 different driving modes basically. And for some reason on high octane, if he picks up some lower than octane, that he was basically, it's supposed to be 93 and it's 91. And if it has any kind of problem on boost B, you put it down to boost A. So we're trying to get 3 different boost options. Wastegate off was about 9.6 pounds, 9.8, somewhere around there. And it made like 325, 326. We just finished tuning boost A. It's at 12 pounds of boost. There's a 370. What was boost A? Oh, power-wise. 370?
Yeah, 375.
375 on boost A, so you got 325, 375. I want to try and sit like 400. You know, just for numbers sake. Even if it was 399, it'd be nice to do 400, right? It's got to do 400. Just to let you know what kind of temperature we're dealing with over here. 98 degrees. And there's the sensor. We don't have the sensor tricking. We don't have it sitting out in the sun or anything like that. Not that dyno guys do that or anything. Ready, George? Ready as you'll ever be? Alright, let's do another run. I'm going to set the camera from this angle here so you can get a nice sound clip. Alright, hopefully it gives you a good sound clip. You're loud enough away, far enough away from the exhaust that it's not obnoxious. Alright. Sounds good, doesn't it? Torque is not working. It's got a... That's not right, obviously. This is closer out torque line. 122. The torque is closer to 260-ish. This isn't right, obviously. That's supposed to be interference. A little lean spot there. I'm going to put a little bit of fuel in right there. Not too bad. Alright, so we're making more power than I was originally intended to make. I did 325 on wastegate, which is like 9.5, 9.8 pounds. Mid-boost, boost A, we're making 370. And that was really only the power goal for this car. Again, stock K20. 11.5 to 1 pump gas, and it's 93 octane, but it's kind of old, which is good because it's better to tune on a lower octane gas and then run high octane just for the safety threshold. Of course, while it's on here, we're trying to give the customer a little bit more, so on boost B it's now making like 428, 425, 428, and it's hot. It's 98, 99 degrees in here, which, I mean, again, it's more power than we need, but yeah, why not go a little bit more? What do you think? Turn it up a little bit? Might be pushing out a little bit. Let's see what it does. not a dead miss, but it's not right. It's got a weak cylinder. And it's not a valve because it's not ingesting air, it's not popping, so it's not a valve. It's either a piston or a ringland. Yeah, you hear it. Yeah, it's just got a stumble. That wasn't really what I wanted. I should have left well enough alone. Again, 425 was more than we were originally running or intended. 18 inches of vacuum. Vacuum was dropped. It was at 20 during the runs. And you can hear it now. You hear that kind of a puff, 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 puff. Yeah, that's not good. Pull the plugs out of it, take a look at the piston, see what's going on. Wasn't really what I wanted. Again, you remember one of the earlier videos I said I'll show you if this sucks. Even if it sucks, I'll show you. This sucks. Car was almost done. All it needed was an alignment, a little bit more street driving, you know, make sure everything's dialed in, make sure there's no creaks or squeaks. Listen to that. It's not good. And then it was going to be detailed. It's going to have the whole thing detailed and ceramic coated and ready to go. Do a little bit more testing, make sure it's happy. And now it's not happy. In fact, it's quite sad. Should have left alone. 425 was more than we wanted. We should have left it alone, but no, I had to sit and fiddle around with the boost controller and crank it up some more. Good news is we know how to fix this kind of stuff. Bad news is I didn't want to fix it. It's been an enjoyable project, but I also want to say bye-bye project. We have more going on. Alright, sorry to end the video on a downer. Wasn't what I wanted, but again, I'm like Mr. Conservative. A lot of people used to say that to me back in the day. Crank up the boost, put more time in it, and I'm like, I'd rather leave 10-15 horse on the table than leave oil on the dyno, so to say. But it's not that bad, it's not blown up. It's got a weak cylinder. We'll take it apart. Next episode, I'll show you what's going on. We'll pull the head off. It'll give us a good indication of what is going on. Number 2 piston is definitely shiny. So something's gone on in there. And at the end of that run, there was a puff of black smoke. So that tells me something snapped. All right, guys.